After yesterday's 12-hour bear market, it looks as though Mexico is finally ready to give the US some juice. And with the crypto markets experiencing the largest single-day liquidation event in crypto history, what if I told you this is actually not bullish, but extremely giga, omega, super duper, sloppy, toppy, mega bullish? So if you understand the pump is coming, and the pump is coming big time, hit that like and subscribe, get signed up with FEMX or BITUNIX below if you buy Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade. And without any further ado, let's absolutely and completely dump into it, where we saw over the last couple of hours, the crypto market experience massive dumpulation. However, if you've been in this market for at least 20 minutes, it's like, I don't know, maybe like a full cycle, then you understand that not only is this usual, in fact, I've never been more bullish on the crypto markets in general. We see breaking news that Trump and Mexico already are in some sort of negotiation to not have these tariffs last very long whatsoever. Literally less than an hour of trading in the stock market. And already there are countries basically, rightfully so, agreeing to some of these terms. They're not crazy terms. The US has been taken advantage of in so many ways. And basically, we're already seeing progress. We see this as well. Tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, David Sachs, the crypto czar, will host a press conference, and he'll outline the administration's plan for leadership in the US when it comes to digital assets. This is pretty big. So when it comes to this last 24 hours, let's take a look at some perspectives and exactly kind of what's going on here. This is peak 2022 capitulation. It feels very identical to FTX imploding, according to Trading Axe on X here, a mini bear market in the greater bull market. Keep in mind, before this dump, actually I made a video yesterday before this dump saying that a dump was coming. We got a dump, here we are. And as I said in yesterday's video, sentiment was already awful before we got a dump. So when I made that video yesterday before we dumped, and I was saying we were gonna dump, and I said how awful the sentiment was, I also said, imagine how bad the sentiment's going to be if we dump again from here, right? And we did dump again. But not only, I'm more bullish than ever, but the amount of people that were scared over the last 12, 20 or so hours, it was a lot. It was a lot of people. So many people being very pessimistic. In fact, I've even seen influencers and people even talking in their videos. You can tell that, well, they straight up admitted that they lost a lot of their trades, but you can also tell that that this dump really messed with them emotionally. It put them emotionally, down in the dumps a little bit. Again, this was the biggest single day of liquidation events in crypto history, so it's not like it was a tiny move. However, I think it was tiny in the grand scheme of things, and in fact, I personally think that this is going to be a blip on the radar that we're going to forget about very soon. Basically, Trading Axe also saying he doesn't think we've topped macro-wise. We end up higher mid long term on strong coins. Problem is, most of you end up grinding your cash to zero, buying every potential bottom or catching these falling knives that go lower. Don't get wiped out on revenge trading. That's the thing too. You can be in this market and you can, for the most part, have the right idea and do everything quote unquote right and still come out of it with a lot less money than you should because of things like revenge trading and trying to time every bottom perfectly. I'm not perfect. I don't execute perfect trades all the time. Not at all, right? I'm not saying I do. But all I'm saying is there's a reason for that. I only use a very, very small portion of my portfolio to do the riskier stuff anyway. So if a day like yesterday happens where things just crash out of nowhere and positions get wiped out, I don't care that much because I'm using a very, very small percent of my portfolio to do the riskier stuff. And because again, I can't predict the market. Nobody can, perfectly. But the thing is, there's going to be so many people that have been in this, this entire cycle from the bear market to the bull market, the entire 4-year period, and they're going to end up really not making a ton of money because in fact, actually, what's crazy? I have a lot of people that I know personally, not a lot, but a few people that I know personally were texting me yesterday saying basically, should I sell? Basically saying I am going to sell, I need to get out of the market and all that kind of stuff. And I was just kind of blown away. My response was this is when you want to sell? On one of these flash crashy, most likely very short-lived dumps that, especially if you want to sell altcoins at these prices when altcoins just are so beaten down and so destroyed. And they just got slashed in half another 30%, and that's when you want to sell? No, that is emotionally, that is trading with emotions. That is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. If yesterday came and you saw these red candles, like for example, this is the entire altcoin market. If you saw this, okay, and if you saw it doing this and you sold your stack right here, I'm sorry to say, but that is quite literally the silliest thing you could have done. That is fear-based trading. That is, I feel honestly very bad. I mean, I feel bad, but also at the same time, I literally say pretty much in every video, like, don't approach the market that way. But it's actually crazy because not just people that I like see on X and YouTube and comments like that, people I actually know in my real life were actually texting me being like, basically asking, should I get out? And I was just making jokes and you know, kind of very obviously saying, no, why would you do that? But it's crazy that actually really got to some people yesterday. I was just eating snacks for the most part, hanging out and tweeting and like not really taking it very seriously because you can't, right? You have to be a little insane. You have to zoom out a little bit. But look at this, over 2 billion liquidated in the crypto markets yesterday, over 1 million traders liquidated, and alts are not at prices they're at prices we haven't seen in like 3 years, meaning they're just completely banged. But look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in an amazing spot. And basically, I want to reiterate one thing. If you don't have any Bitcoin, well, obviously I have a strong opinion on this. My videos every single day are talking about Bitcoin specifically. But if you don't have any Bitcoin, I understand that maybe you're trying to make a lot of money and maybe you don't have a ton of money and you want to put your money in riskier things and try to really make a lot. But if you don't have any Bitcoin and you're already investing in crypto, I think that this should be a wake-up call that you should probably have some Bitcoin. If you're trading cryptocurrencies and if you're invested in these $10 million market cap coins and you don't have any Bitcoin, which I hear all the time, so many people in my comments everywhere, people I know in real life, actually don't have any Bitcoin, but they have like Solana, they have Cardano, they have Ethereum and stuff like that, but they don't have any Bitcoin. I don't understand that. Again, I'm a little biased. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but I mean, if I'm being honest, almost every year that goes by, I become closer and closer to becoming a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think I ever fully will be a Bitcoin maximalist. I'll always hold some altcoins like Cardano, for example, but like, if you don't have any Bitcoin, man, what are you doing? Like genuinely, what are you doing? There's such a difference, and I don't think that the dichotomy has ever been more clear than even just what happened over the last 12 hours. Especially the last year, the fact that Bitcoin has gone up so much and altcoins have just gotten destroyed. Again, I think that you should consider allocating some of your portfolio to Bitcoin. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't understand how you can be invested in crypto and not have any Bitcoin. It kind of blows my mind. Bitcoin typically bounces insanely hard from these levels. Look at this. Oversold, massive overreaction. Yes, I think exactly that's what it was. And I knew it was at the time as well. And I knew it was before we crashed when I made the video. And I knew it was as it was happening. And I know it now. It is an overreaction. It was a mispricing. I think this market should be going much higher. And that was an opportunity to get in, to be honest. Now, with that being said, I think altcoins are actually just receiving one of the biggest signals we've seen. Altcoin market cap is forming a possible parabolic curve. It looks like we're currently in base 4, and the next leg up should be the final point before the blow off top. Until then, do not get shaken out. The biggest thing, did this happen in the last transition? Yes. There was a fake out before the true alt season in the past, in 2021. Did the signal falsely flash in previous cycles before alt season? Yes, it did. You can go back to 2021, nice spike up in Bitcoin dominance and down. Very similar potentially to what we're seeing right now. Altcoins have been beaten down, battered, bruised. People thought they would never come back. That's exactly what people are thinking now. I do think altcoins are going to pump. And I think what happened over the last 12 hours is one of the biggest signals and the biggest things that needed to happen for a true alt season to happen. People need to lose faith. Not everybody can benefit. In fact, most people have to panic. They have to panic sell. They have to get feared out of those positions because maximum pain is usually what's needed before the biggest pumps. It's not sunshine and rainbows, because people think you can just buy a bunch of garbage coins, hold on to them, and they'll just go, slowly straight up in a bull market and that's it. No, you're going to get shaken out. You're going to be questioning yourself at every turn. You're going to be battling with yourself. And most people, unfortunately, lose that battle. And over the last 24 hours was one of those battles. And if you sold your altcoins yesterday in the panic, then unfortunately, it's possible you lost that battle and you need to think about it. Think about what you did wrong and potentially make some changes going forward. But at the very least, learn something. Make sure to take at least one or two positive things from the experience so you can learn in the future. We see as well cycle doing cycle things. Realistically, I think that we're on the verge of the biggest cup and handle of this bull market. I mean, this right here is the entire altcoin market. So it's the entire crypto market minus the top 10 coins. So really like the true altcoins in terms of really out there alts. And yeah, I think we're about to experience massive gains. But also global open interest has reset to pre-Trump victory levels. This is big. This is bullish. We need it. We need resets sometimes. Before the big moves up, we need resets. We look at this chart. Actually, I want to cover some things here. So we see that with this news with Mexico, Mexico's peso actually pumped. Canada is being stubborn. Look at Canada. Still down, still red. We see that the US dollar is actually down a little bit because it was pumping on these fears, but now it's going down a little bit as maybe these fears were overblown. We also see the entire crypto market. This is my favorite chart to look at. Look at this massive wick. It's crazy. So many people got feared out, shaken out. Look at Bitcoin. Not a really massive wick, just like a wick, and so far a higher low. See where this low is at? It's much higher than this low we set back on January 13th, a little less than a month ago. So, guys, I mean, pretty much, I feel like this is a welcome to crypto moment for a lot of newer people, because I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people got very emotional about this. And why, man? I mean, myself and so many other people will sit on Twitter or YouTube just saying like, hey, don't panic every time something happens. In fact, like I said, I literally made a video yesterday basically talking about this exact scenario. And then like, I don't know, a couple hours after, then we got it, right? So just, you need to, I don't know. I guess you can't teach emotional IQ. It's something you either have or you don't, but you can train it yourself. But I guess you can't really be, you need to make the decision. People can open the door for you, but you need to be the one that walks through. And if you're refusing to walk through, then you're going to keep getting the short end of the stick when it comes to these situations in the market. This market is so psychology based. You don't have to be very smart to make money in crypto or in the stock market in general. Really, you don't have to be very smart. You just have to be emotionally intelligent, which is honestly actually a pretty important type of intelligence. Actually, the more you think about it, it's actually probably the most important type of intelligence. And get signed up with Femex or BITUNIX below if you don't have Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade. Without further ado.